join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we get a roll call, please, Lisa?
Yes. Blair?
Here.
Broughton?
Here.
DePalma? Marshall?
Here.
Thurman?
Here.
Unruh?
Here.
Rumbo?
Here. All right, looking for a motion to approve the agenda, but Kathy just mentioned something.
Yes, I'd like to remove item G on the consent agenda and put that down to new business I.
Okay,
Why?
So we can discuss it, because if
Right,
it's
you
on the
can't discuss
consent,
it.
we don't discuss. Change things.
all right. With that amendment, can we get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Thank you, Roz. Anybody gonna second that?
I'll second it. Sorry.
Thanks, Steve. All right. Let's do a roll call for approving the agenda.
Thurman?
Yes.
Unruh?
Yes.
Blair?
Yes.
Broughton?
Yes.
DePalma? Marshall?
Yes.
Rumbo?
Yes. All right, that brings us to our first public hearing. This is for the Shelmar Lane Special Assessment District. Can we get a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
second.
support.
I think I heard Roz first. All right, Kathy, supported by Roz. Can we get a roll call, please?
Unruh?
Yes.
Blair?
Yes.
Broughton?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Rumbo?
Yes. All right, is there anybody here to talk about the Shelmar Lane Special Assessment District? Okay. Seeing none, can we get a motion to close it?
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Steve. All right, can we get a roll call on that too? Since it's a public hearing.
Blair?
Yes.
Broughton?
Yes.
DePalma?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Unruh?
Yes.
Rumbo?
Yes. All right, that brings us to the public hearing for the Legault Special Assessment District. We need a motion to open the hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the Legault Special
Second.
Assessment District hearing.
Thank you, Steve and Kathy.
Let's move.
Yeah, I hear you. Is anybody here to talk about the Legault Special Assessment?
Hi. My name's Ed Darbyshire. I've been a resident of Brandon Township since 1991. I purchased my property on Legault Road at the very end. It's 21 and a half acres back in 1989 when I was awfully young and dumb. I'd never buy property on a private road ever again. When I purchased the property, I paid $35,000 for it. And the road ended at my property with a cul-de-sac. And there was no road maintenance agreement with the people on the west side, because when I purchased the property, it was pretty clear that they did not have access to the road from the markings on the title. There's a big lawsuit that went on, and they finally had a settlement with the original seller of the property, and they ended up with 2 road maintenance agreements on the road. When I purchased the property, I was told that I wouldn't have to pay any road maintenance agreement or any additional cost until I built a house on the road. And this was brought up the last time when the SAD came through, and it passed, and they said the majority of the people on the road voted for it, so therefore they said this is a democracy, so therefore I had to pay it. If I didn't like it, I should hire a lawyer and sue them. Well, a lawyer's cost about $250 an hour, and the special assessment was $250, so I didn't do anything. I'm here now because since I purchased the property, that was the best road in Oakland County when it was put in by Danny Rome. And all the gravel is still there. No one came and stole the gravel. They pushed it all into the ditch. Now the road doesn't drain properly. And that's because people don't want to take the gravel back out of the ditch from snow plowing each year and put it back on the road. I don't feel that I should have to pay for road maintenance on a road that I use basically to get my corn and beans off the field twice a year. I pay a lot of Brandon Township tax for that property. I don't get any electrical service. I don't get any garbage, school, mail, UPS drivers, FedEx drivers, everyone else that goes up and down that road that creates a dust that ends up on these people's house that live on that road. I live on Connell Road. I have a beautiful house on 8.5 acres. I pay taxes for it. The township takes care of my road and everything. Why do I have a special assessment onto the $16,100 that I already pay in taxes on that property? Now this has caused other homeowners that didn't have a house on the property to sell their land because it's a big tax increase for a place that you don't live. There's only myself and one other private vacant lot, I believe, on that road. It's a 10 acres next to me. The old lady that has the property has had it for 30 years. I don't know if she's passed away or passed it on to her kids or what, but it's not a fair tax. We don't live there. We don't drive down it. We don't create the dust. We don't create the wear and tear on the road. You know, I've paid for, 10 years now for, call it $250 a year additional that I can't write off on my taxes because it's a special assessment. You know, it's just ridiculous. When's it going to stop? I don't plan on ever building down there. That's my farm field. You know, it's not right. I got it in writing that I'm not supposed to have to pay any road maintenance until I build on the road. So it's on the road maintenance agreement if you guys want to look it up. It's in the record. I dug through a lot of my old records, but you guys have it. It was there last time. It was very clear. This whole road's been mishandled terribly. I'll probably never build on that road because of that. So,
Your 3 minutes is up, sir.
okay?
Anybody else here for Legault?
I am.
Come on up.
My name's Jeremy Shaver. I actually sit on the board for road maintenance, and we have discussed the possibility of pulling the gravel out of the ditches and redigging those for drainage. There are some other issues, but as all of you well know and other people know, there are steps that you have to take. You know, I'm not authorized to just go and do anything. 51% of the people, more than 51% of the people want the taxes. They want the road taken care of, so that's what we're going with.
It's not a tax. We're just collecting
A special assessment. You are correct.
It is not a tax.
Yeah, you're right. It's just collected through your taxes. You're correct.
Right.
Yes. So the people want to pay for it, and Mr. Derbyshire said openly himself that he was neglectfully wanting, he bought the property when he was young. I asked him freely to put it up for sale, and then he wouldn't have to worry about it. If he doesn't want to ever build a house, at this point, all he's doing is stalling, the rest of people that want to live on the road from doing it. Were other vacant properties. One was just built on this past year. There's another property at the south end that's on the opposite side that the guy plans on building, as far as I've heard. So I think it just doesn't make sense for us not to take care of a road and let it get destroyed. People drive up and down it all the time. It needs to be taken care of. It needs to be maintained, and that's what this special assessment is for. More than 51% of the people are for it. I don't know what else to say. So,
Okay, thank you. And it looks like the assessment for your property is $270 roughly. So I don't know. I think you said a number higher than that, but it's $269.74. I think you said it was $250 when you started in 1989. But
Hey,
it is, no, hold on.
I've never
You
been
don't,
invited to
you've already had your
any
3 minutes. Well, I'm sure they send notice because it's required. And they have to give us a copy of the letter that was sent out. I'm pretty positive. Do we have copies of their letters that go out?
I did receive a letter that was sent out.
And every SAD in the township, the vacant parcels pay it. So you're not the only vacant parcel in a SAD that pays it. Is there anybody else? Oh, go ahead.
So I don't know when the meeting took place, but I did have a letter that said it took, I can't recall the date right now, but I know it did not happen in our township building. And this letter was the meeting was supposed to be held at our township.
Gotcha.
And one other thing.
Sir, you've already had your 3 minutes. Thank you. Is there anybody else that wants to speak on this? Yes.
Hi, my name's Phil Steiter. I live on Legault Boulevard, and my understanding, as he has said, that he only collects corn or twice a year from, but at the same time, those are tractors going up and down from one end all the way to the other end, and it does cause damage. It's simply the road has to be maintained one way or the other. I'd love to say, hit the lottery, I'll pay for it forever, but we all have to pay for it right now. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. With that, can we get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for
Do you want
Legault
to second
Boulevard.
it, Bob? Got you. Do you want to second it? Bob already said it before you started talking. Do you want a second, Kathy?
Okay, I'll
Okay,
second.
thank you. All right, can we get a roll call vote on that, please?
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right, that brings us to the last public hearing for tonight, the Zurita Special Assessment District. Can we get a motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Thank you, Steve. Do you want to support it since you, okay. Steve and Roslyn, can we get a roll call on that, please?
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Anybody here to speak on Zarita? Yes.
Evening, everybody. Ken Shanley's the name. I live on Zurita. First of all, Jason, thank you for all your help. Just appreciate it. 2 quick questions, though. I'm worried about the assessment wording. The reason you brought it up the last month was we had to bring in the generator to run the pumps because the truck got stuck. The reason the truck got stuck is because the easement was blocked.
Oakland County had to do all that.
Right.
Right.
Okay. My concern is what happens in the future for Mr. Harrison when that happens? What is his recourse as far as, if that easement is blocked like that? Because it's blocked all winter when it snows.
Actually,
This just happens to be, was there then.
your bigger problem is going to be there's no one to oversee that now. So if power were to go out for 3 days or more,
Right.
it's your responsibility now to be getting that generator in there.
Right.
Oakland
Well, we
County-
understand, and,
Yeah.
and the issue is the generator would not have had to go in there if the easement was open. Because he would have been able to get the pumper truck back there, would have been able to pump it all out, and then moved on with life.
Well, as far as I know, this is for the septic only. This doesn't have anything to do with the easement. The easement would be a separate issue for you.
Okay, that's my question. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I
This
don't
is just
know.
to- Just to comply with the court order to keep those septic systems
Right.
running properly.
So, okay, then I'll come back on that and ask my other questions to somebody other than, I don't know what I do about the easement not being,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
certainly
where
a
I
question
go.
to ask someone, maybe
A
off
idea.
topic, but this doesn't have anything to do with the SAD.
Okay,
so.
no, that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. The other question I had was, we understand we pay 15% to Harrison for an administration fee.
That's to the township.
Okay. Last month, you discussed with Ms. Thurman that it's 5% is what the
Actually,
normally gets, so I'm.
this is based on a court order.
Right.
And we've lowered, your payments are gonna be
Yeah, I get that. I'm just, again, I heard 5% and I see 15, so.
No, it's 15. A total for all 6 homes, I believe.
Yep, 6 houses.
homes.
Right.
It's $240
Okay,
for all 6.
okay.
That's to administer all the billing
Okay,
the
I
tax
appreciate
budget.
that,
So
because
it's
that's not
pretty
how
cheap.
I read it, but
Yeah,
that,
it's-
I
it's
appreciate
pretty
that,
cheap.
absolutely. And while I'm here, is there any way we can bump that up a little bit? Seriously, no, just trying to be, don't laugh, I'm trying to be serious, because
No.
we used up some of our extra money in the account because of all that, and I want to make sure we have enough in case of
You're gonna
a
have enough.
catastrophe.
To
Yeah,
the
I think your 3
attorney,
minutes
you
is up
cannot
to you,
raise
but-
that, but you can lower it.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
we can have an open
perfect.
discussion.
Yeah, we can.
Perfect, I appreciate your
You're-
time.
you're-
No,
you're
I
fine.
really do. Jason, do we have contact for the person for the
Source.
extra pump? Yes. Harrison.
They're
needs to
waiting
be-
for this to finalize, and then
Yep.
they'll get it to Brian.
Okay,
Or Brian will
appreciate
get it, one or the other.
Thank you.
Yep. Is there anybody else here for Zurita?
I guess I might have. a
Okay,
couple
hey, Brian.
questions, Only because this easement issue was brought up, and of course, the generator.
Yep.
And it was kind of my understanding that if power goes down, it would be my responsibility
Who,
to
is
bring
this-
in.
Is this Brian Harrison?
Yeah,
I've never met you
apologize,
before.
everyone.
Yeah,
I'm Brian
okay.
Harrison.
Okay.
And
For the board,
I'm the
this is
chosen
the
one to
person
help
who's gonna
with
be
the.
providing the septic service for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the generator was brought up, and when I met out there with the county
Uh-huh.
months and months ago, they asked me to meet them out there.
Yeah, we started in April.
Yeah, in April, and, I want to try to help, and I'm going to help,
Yeah.
and, because I'm a local resident. It's really not a money issue to us, it's just that we'd like to be some help if we can. The generator that was brought up, now that, my understanding is that will be my responsibility to provide a generator if power were to go out?
Well, yeah, you'd be
Because
the
when-
maintenance contractor.
Right,
for
so
all-
when,
yeah.
when I was asked, when they said that they had to get a generator in there, I was just
I'm
wondering.
assuming he meant Water Resources Commission brought it in the
Correct,
past.
yes.
But in the future, they won't be bringing one.
No,
Right.
you're taking their spot.
I would work with you, and
Okay.
we would try and figure out.
And that wouldn't
Okay,
be,
so we just
Yeah,
work together
absolutely.
on that, and
Absolutely.
if there's some snow plowing.
and that wouldn't be under your current contract. That's not included in the current contract
Yeah,
with
yeah.
them. That would be an extra fee.
Your contract is
Right,
just
right,
for-
I've
yes.
tried to be fair to everybody and kind of keep it open-ended like that.
Right.
If some snow plowing needs to be done,
Absolutely.
I got a
And
backhoe,
you
we come
plow-
over and
You
we-
plow it, and you bill us.
yeah, we'll just,
Absolutely.
so, I don't know if it's something that's necessary. Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll just work together
you
with
guys
the,
can
with the
figure it out.
residents that are on that street that are connected to this sewer system. And,
Yeah, your stuff, the stuff says plus fees, so whatever you're,
Absolutely.
so we can discuss it, and if they
Yep.
want it kept plowed all winter, we can make sure it's plowed all winter.
yep.
Sometimes power goes out in the middle of a snowstorm, it's kind of hard to get it plowed out right then. you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
you know.
all we're doing is collecting the money for the sewer
Hold
system
up,
and paying the
though.
money out.
Hold up. You would have to work on billing directly to the homeowners with that. We can't start tacking on extra fees to the SAD.
Right.
Extra services to the SAD, just so you know. So if you wanted to plow the road and they want to pay you, that's a
No, I don't
separate-
want to plow it, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what he's saying. We might get in there
In
emergency,
emergency,
you
you
gotta,
can do it.
gotta figure out. Okay, well, I think he answered my questions, quite
Yep.
frankly. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Absolutely.
I'm Brian.
Brian.
Okay.
All right,
We
guys.
talk on the phone a lot. so-
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
You gonna be around for a little bit?
With that, we will look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Oh, yep, sure, on Zarita. Do you have, is your question on the Zarita?
It has to do with, the roads, everything.
Is
Yes,
it, we're in the middle of a public hearing for the Zarita special assessment. Is your question about the assessment?
Well, it's about what I'm paying on taxes
No, it's okay.
for the property.
You-
I have a
Which-
piece of paper
Which
that
property?
shows, it's at 3755 Dartmouth
Okay,
Road. My name is Sally
ma'am, you're gonna
Ward.
have to wait till we have
And
public
I just
comment.
want to hand this to you, so then you know for a fact that what I'm doing is that I'm fighting back because you own the property, I'm paying taxes for it.
This isn't part of the public hearing,
My name
ma'am.
can't be on your tax roll. I am paying tax for properties known as personal property. I have all the proof here. Here you go. Check it out. I want my tax money back. Because I don't like being charged tax for property I don't own.
50% of the people vote for it, you gotta pay.
She's not in the,
Well,
she's
no,
not in the
I'm
special
telling you,
assessment.
I don't, it says it's township property.
All right,
It's not
ma'am,
residential.
you're not even, you're in the wrong spot right now.
Well,
This
I'm
isn't part of the
letting you
special.
know
Okay, but you're in the wrong spot.
I have been treated badly, and
There's another time on the agenda when you can
Well,
talk,
I'm
not
just
right
letting
now.
you know, I'll give you 24 hours to contact me.
Okay.
My phone number is on our website, buyerbewaremichigan.com.
All right. With that, is there anybody else that wants to talk about the assessment?
For Zarita.
Any assessment?
No, for Zurita, because we're in the public hearing for Zurita. We already had your public hearing.
Can I talk about Zarita's public assessment then?
Sure.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question first?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we didn't close that. Okay.
We did not close it.
My question is, on any of these public assessments, Zarita, Galt, we have 3 of them here.
We're only talking about Zurita.
It doesn't matter. Any
does
public
matter.
assessment, when you pay to have a road maintained and plowed, whether it's Zurita, Galt, or any of them, the thing is, if you don't live on that road, and you don't have a house on that road, and they plow in
Zurita's not a road assessment.
and they plow in your driveway with 12 foot of snow, and they still tell you got to pay for maintenance, it's
Okay,
wrong.
sir,
And
you're
you
not
guys
talking
don't
about
cover.
Zurita. This is the Zurita.
And
public
Zurita
hearing.
or
All right, I'm going
anybody.
to ask you to stop because you're not talking about Zurita. And
What do you want me to talk about, Zarita? Zarita's assessment, do they
not a
pay
road
for snow
assessment.
plowing?
No,
It's
it's
a
not a
sewer.
road assessment. It's a
Sewer?
sewer assessment.
All right.
Mr. Derbyshire,
You need
you'll
to sit
have
down.
another opportunity to speak soon under citizens' comments because it's an agenda item.
Last time it didn't let that happen, so, okay, thank you.
Oh, I didn't when I opened it, but
My house on Oakland
I
County
crossed it out
limit.
before the meeting. Okay.
Wetland.
All right, we're gonna.
Make a motion
Thank
to
you,
close
Kathy.
the
Public
public hearing for
hearing.
I'll
Zarita.
second.
Thanks, Steve. Guys, there's always time for you to talk, but you have to talk in the right times. No, you got to understand. You have to follow the agenda. Okay. Thank you.
Doing illegal things.
All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right, that brings us to our reports. We have the Treasury report. Let's see, we have a General Ledger report. We have a designated report for August. We have a reconciliation report. We have a Building Department report for July and August. And we are up to 13 houses to date, new starts. We do have a Parks and Rec Department report. Nope, Fred is not here. And Ed DeBurton Senior Center reports, and I don't see Faye. All right, so, and then we have the CDBG report as well.
Can I just speak on that real quick?
Yep.
So a lot of these reports are not making it into the packet because we don't receive this from Oakland County until the 1st of every month. So typically, it's after our board meeting, but I want you guys to have it, so you're not waiting a whole nother month to get it. So I just want to kind of explain that a little bit, so you guys know what's going on with that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. That brings us to our trustee reports. Kathy, you want to start?
Yeah, I don't really have much this month, so I just want to wish everybody a happy Halloween at the end of the month.
Thank you. Steve?
Happy Halloween. September Fest was, of course, very good. I went to it. Saw a band down there that did very well. I enjoyed it. It was a good afternoon. So, you know, this next year, right? September Fest. Have everybody have a happy Halloween. Thanks.
Thank you. Bob?
September Fest as usual. I mean, Fred works his butt off. So he starts about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and he works all the way through the day. He does a great job. So kudos to Fred for all the work he puts in for September Fest and his staff.
Thank you. And Dana?
Yeah, I had a couple things. First, I wanted to thank the DDA that helps with the food trucks that were supposed to be there on Thursday night. We had all that rain, and they postponed it to Friday, so I thought that was very great of them that they were able to move them back a day. And then led right into the beer tent night, and then September Fest, and it was just a great weekend. We enjoyed some time there, bared out the rain in the morning, and then enjoyed our afternoon. The one thing I did want to mention too is that the Halloween in the village is always a great thing for the kids, and the village is collecting candy for it, so they can't handle all the kids that come on their own. So if you get a chance, get some candy over to the village to help the residents there for the kids, because that's always a great night for Halloween. So happy Halloween.
Thank you, Dana. Treasurer Rosalind, or sorry, Scott, backwards.
Yeah, September 5th was fun. Grand opening of the blacksmith shop was fun. Let's see. I see there was a letter in the packet. I got this letter as well. They've upped the price for dog tags this year quite a bit. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it's not a lot, but the percentage increase was 43%, which it went from $10.50 to $15.
That's for spayed or neutered.
Yeah, that's for spayed or neutered. Even higher if they're not spayed or neutered, it's 25 now. So just be aware of that. I did contact my Oakland County Commissioner and asked him to raise my objection at their budget hearing last week, but I don't think it went very far. I don't think it was a big part of their agenda. Also, I did a virtual meeting. It's OCC MTA, and just something for us to be aware of. The person who spoke at this, and she's part of the MTA, but she's really well spoken, and she really knows what's going on with Michigan legislation. And she mentioned something about the statutory revenue that we've already collected. A portion of that could be required to be refunded based on our drop in census numbers. So just an FYI on that.
But our census didn't drop for our township, so
I thought the numbers dropped.
No.
Mm-mm. Oh.
they increased.
Skip that. I said, just skip that whole statement.
Tragedy averted. That is all tense for.
But she also had some interesting conversation, just briefly, on the new medical marijuana laws and how many of the townships are having the same problems that we're experiencing here.
Ma'am, you can't keep interrupting the meeting. Thank you. Okay,
And
we
I-
have a meeting to go through.
We're going to have a problem here tonight.
Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you don't stop interrupting the meeting.
I think that is all. Yes, that is it.
All right, thank you. Rosalind?
Okay, good evening. Thank you for attending the board meeting for the Charter Township of Brandon. In September, I attended a Clerking 101 boot camp with the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks. I attended this meeting with my deputy, Lisa Lamont, and the deputy clerk in Groveland Township. It was a wonderful time networking with other clerks, and just, you can never learn enough in a position like this. We did have the Election Commission meeting last month where we approved the list of election workers along with the date for the public accuracy test. On September 29th, I did mail out the absentee ballots that were on the permanent absentee voter list. So about 1,357 ballots left our office. So far, we've received 91 of those ballots back. If you would like an absentee ballot for the November 2nd, 2021 election, you can go online to the Secretary of State. There's a spot to click on that says Voting in Elections, and you'll be able to fill out your application there. Or you can contact the clerk's office or stop by to see us. Thank you.
Thanks, Rosalind. I attended this morning Northwest Oakland County Sewer Stakeholders Meeting. They're still looking into that project. We're probably going to see a resolution from them in the next month or two, so I'll be bringing that to the board at some point. And then I did go to the M15 Heritage Trail meeting. They were just discussing paths that they have in Atlas and Goodrich right now. And then we did receive 50% of our ARPA funds last week in an amount of $765,022.50. And we will receive the other part sometime next year. And then we have, I believe it's 4 years to figure out how to spend that. So
Right, and good news just came out that because the original first reporting deadline was going to be October 31st, but now that's been delayed until next year.
Good. It's kind of hard to report when we have no idea.
Even if we didn't do anything with it, we still had to report, but now
Right.
they've delayed that till next year.
All right.
Need to, I know for some funds that my work received, we used to have to, state that we accepted the funds.
We already did that
You already
like 2
did
months
that
ago.
part of it?
To accept
Okay.
it, yeah. Yep.
I didn't know after you get it if you had to do that. Or
No, you had to do that before you got it or you didn't get it.
Okay.
And then I just want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. And like the other people said, I did have a good time at Septemberfest with my family when I was there before I left for the Michigan State game. but it was a good day, and Fred did a great job like he does every year on that event. And that is it for me. So that brings us into the correspondence, and Scott already mentioned that, I believe. Wasn't that under correspondence?
Yes.
Yeah. So the pet fees will be going up, license fees. And that brings us to citizen comments, and that is on agenda items only. So if anybody has a comment, you have 3 minutes.
Now's my chance.
Yep. As long as it's about something on the agenda, yes.
Okay. Let me know if Legault Road's on the agenda.
Well, it is. You know that. We
Okay.
already talked
Now,
about it.
when does my 3 minutes start?
Right now.
Okay. So I don't understand this board. The thing is I bought property on a road, a private road. It's very clear in my purchase agreement that I don't have to pay for any maintenance until I live on the road. Until I have a house.
Your purchase agreement doesn't have anything to do with
Listen,
the
it's my 3
township.
minutes, okay? So you can just,
But
I would
what you're saying
reclaim my
doesn't
time,
is-
reclaim my time.
Relax. I'm going to ask you to leave if you don't
All right.
stop being obnoxious.
All right, so look, it's my 3 minutes. So the thing is they don't invite me to any of the meetings because I don't live on the road. They don't ask my opinion on the road. They don't ask me to bid on anything on the road. All I get is a 12-foot-high snowdrift plowed into my driveway that makes it impossible for me to get in there from when the snow falls until it ends. How do I even get that to stop? I'm paying $200 to have salt put down on a road to keep the dust off of not my house, okay? I don't even drive on it to create any of it. Why is that the case? What do I got to do, hire a lawyer and sue the township for passing this thing when it's clear in my title that I don't have to pay it? And just because 50%
have your
or
title.
100% of the people vote for it, if 100% of the people voted for it, fine. But the thing is, my legal purchase agreement clearly states that I don't have to pay for a road maintenance agreement
Again, we don't
until
have
I
a purchase
build
agreement.
on the property. Until I build on the property. You're taxing people out of their property.
It's not a tax.
It's a special assessment. If I don't pay it, they put a lien on my property.
It's not a tax.
If I don't pay it, they put a lien on my property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Then it's a tax.
It's not a tax.
If I don't pay my taxes, it goes for tax sale after 3 years.
If you don't
Okay?
want to pay the $270,
So if I don't pay
yes.
if I don't pay the $250, then they come after my property. Okay? So you're wrong on it. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
Believe
an
me, I've done it for
attorney,
30 years. I don't know how.
I do know what I'm talking about.
From when?
I said I'm an attorney. I do know what I'm talking about.
Then you know that what's written in a
I know
purchase
that you're
agreement,
100%
then
wrong.
you know that's what's written in a purchase agreement. If it says clearly that you're not supposed to have to pay for that, you can't just arbitrarily change it.
Your purchase agreement doesn't have anything to do with the township, sir.
It has everything to do with the township. It
No,
was
it doesn't.
purchased in this township.
The
It was,
township- the
my
township
land was
wasn't a
purchased.
party to your
It
land
was not
purchase.
disclosed in my purchase agreement with the township on my title. It's mismarked.
Okay.
It's mismarked. So you're a really bad attorney because now you're a township supervisor. If
Okay.
you were a good attorney, you wouldn't be a township supervisor. You'd
Okay.
be rich and you wouldn't be working here.
You have no idea what you're
Okay?
talking about.
So you have no idea what you're talking about.
I
I've
do.
been
Your
involved in a
time's up,
number.
And you can sit down or you can leave.
You're really screwed up, man.
Okay.
You're really screwed up, buddy.
Anybody else?
Outside of you built the house on a ditch, and all the water runs to my house and it's damaged.
Well, the township didn't build any houses,
Oh,
ma'am.
yes, you did. It's township property, and I have,
Are you gonna come up to here, the thing you're supposed to?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, ma'am, also, this isn't on the agenda, so this isn't the proper time for this.
I know, but I'm letting you know that the water's damaged
You
the
keep saying you
house.
know, but you're not listening to anything. What you're
I
talking
gave you
about
the
is
proof
not
right
on the
there.
agenda.
I gave you the proof in the folder.
Your proof isn't on the agenda.
Well, I'm letting
You
you
have
know.
an opportunity at the end
You
of
have
the
an
meeting.
opportunity at the
I
end of the
don't know
meeting.
how to get a hold of you people. This is the only way I can be able to
You
communicate
can
with
come to
you.
the office 5 days a week, or call,
I'm
or
not-
email, or go on our
I want to
website.
talk to a lot of people all at once. I'm telling you, the property.
All right, if you're
I
not gonna
can't
talk
sell
about the agenda,
house.
ma'am, I'm gonna ask you to
The house
sit
is
down.
damaged from all the road water.
Ma'am, if you're not
Brings
gonna
to a
talk about
wetland.
something on the agenda, I'm gonna ask you to sit down.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know, I don't like being ripped off.
Okay. Does anybody have anything to say about anything on the agenda?
Just for my clarification, when they come up with these SADs, the only involvement that the township has is just to collect the fees that they levy basically on themselves.
And pay the bills, yes.
Right, is that
From
correct?
those fees, correct.
So we have
100%.
nothing to do with the agreements.
100%.
Between the residents, okay.
I'm part of the Michigan Municipal.
Okay.
That's not true.
It is true.
That is not.
It is true. All right, does anybody else have any comments on anything on the agenda? Okay, thank you. All right, that brings us to our discussion item. No has is in the discussion. We, in the past, have said we would do this every couple of years. We have not done this since 2019. So just looking for input if we would like to do it, since this would be 3 years coming up. And the last time we did it, we had 151 participants, which was a little over 3% of our township residents. So do we want to spend the roughly $6,000 for that?
Can I speak on this?
Yeah.
I had the opportunity, a couple years ago, to work at No Has. And when I was down there and people are coming in their cars and telling them what line to get in, I didn't see any of Brandon Township residents there. I know this is a great to have for our residents. It's a good option to be able to get rid of waste or electronics and stuff like that. But I was surprised. I don't know if it was just that it wasn't getting out to the community that we are.
Well, it depends
part
on what
of
year
No Has.
year were you working?
Well, the last year it was there was 19. Or do you mean you worked it in a different year than this?
It probably was 19. That would have been about right. So, I just don't know if the communication wasn't to the residents and they didn't know about
sure,
it, that they could get into that.
Yeah, it's
So
very
I think if we
communicated.
up
It was.
the information got out to the residents, is that what you're saying it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosalind, which collection did you work at?
I worked at the one at Oakland County.
Oakland County.
Yeah, the big one for the residents here was the one that, because I worked it that year.
Oh, did
also,
you? Okay.
it was at Oxford.
Okay.
And I'm a big proponent of no has for Brandon Township, but every 3 years. It's too expensive for us to do it every year, but it does keep some of the garbage out of the ditches
Sure,
and
sure.
some of the oil out of, or whatever, out of the back 40. So I'm a yes.
I think my,
It said that there were 27 of our residents that went to Oakland County that year.
It says 151 for your participants.
No,
per year.
just for the Oakland County
No, just
campus
for
where she
that.
was.
Oh, I got you. Yep, I see that.
And so there were how many?
27.
27.
You
that
look
went
at
there.
So maybe that
Additional
those
credit.
cars that were coming by,
Didn't come
maybe
through
they,
your line. I don't.
but the same, the two lines that were coming, we were part of that, so.
Should have wore an I Am Brandon shirt.
Yeah. If
Well,
you're Brandon, stop here.
I think part of the issue is that, I mean, Oxford Middle School is close, but it's not too close for the people who live on the furthest side of the township. And I think that might be a lot of the issue is you got to be available that day to go to the location. And do you want to drive, like, especially you're talking the further ones like Oakland University. Was I available on June 22nd? What did I have? So it's
Right.
hard for people to make some of these because location plus, we know we're all busy, especially come summer with vacations and other stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, Oxford had half of our cars that went.
Yeah,
So.
and you
Right.
have to be serious about wanting to properly get rid of waste.
Right.
And some,
Right.
you
So
either
I'm
are or
not
you're
a fan to do it every year I don't know. Do you have complaints, Jason, that we don't do it every year or?
Not many at all. I mean, a couple of calls. in the
I had a
last
few
year.
people that, when I was out knocking doors, they had said something about the no has, that we don't do it, and then we do it. They're a little, and I said, well,
Confused, probably.
just so you know.
Well, even when we do it, only 3% of our residents have participated. So.
Correct. Well, I'm just saying,
not-
it wasn't like a lot.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying
no.
A handful. That's
Kathy,
all.
did you have any? You look like you want to say something.
Sure.
Sorry.
Well, I think if we do decide to do that, we'd probably have to put more notifications in the local paper.
Sure.
And there's
And it
that
is on
one
the website
column,
and stuff too.
I forgot what the title of that one column is. Briefs, yeah, we can
Sure, you
put
don't
it
get to
in
talk
Well, and you
for
could
free.
put it with property tax bill in our
And
newsletter.
in the
Yep.
newsletter,
Put it
that
with the
too.
But then if so many people have it rolled into their mortgage, they wouldn't get that.
Right.
Or do they still get even though they don't get their bill, do they still get our newsletter?
They still, the
The
newsletter comes out
goes
with
to
the
everybody who gets their
assessment.
tax bill.
But if your tax
No,
bill
no,
though
no,
goes
that's
to
wrong.
the.
The newsletter comes out with the assessment notice.
Oh, the assessment notice, okay, that's okay.
Everybody
yes.
gets the assessment
Assessment
notice.
notice, right. It's the bills that go to, sorry.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is that we need to supply a volunteer for each of the collection dates, and sometimes that gets problematic. I know I worked a lot of them when we did it. And the other workers, there weren't many supervisors there. But most other workers were getting paid by their township, so if a trustee went, they would get meeting pay probably, or volunteer or whatever. So that's another consideration, because we need to
We
supply
did pay
volunteers.
somebody for the second day of our cleanup day.
I was going to
'cause we didn't
say,
have somebody.
I was happy to volunteer for it, but I was able to talk to a lot of other people that were working supposedly for Oxford and for especially Clarkston and Independence. They were paying all their DPW guys to go work it. It wasn't volunteer
That's what we
basis.
had, whatever Parks and Rec guys
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's another consideration.
So if the consensus is that we want to do it for this year, then I can bring it back to the next meeting, so. Does anybody object to doing it this year, or next year, I'm sorry? Keep saying this year, but next year?
No, I think it's a good program. It's well-run.
All right. So that brings us to the consent agenda, which is minus item G that's been moved. So we have the special meeting minutes of September 20th, 21, regular meeting minutes of September 7th, 2021, the joint fire board meeting minutes of 8/31, regular bills in the amount of $9,753.50, prepays in the amount of $278,153.22, and township benefits from payroll in the amount of $32,140.71. And there is no unfinished business, so that brings us right
We have
in.
to vote on the consent.
Oh, yeah, sorry, let's skip that.
I'll make a motion
Thanks,
to
Kat.
approve the consent agenda as presented.
As amended or presented? Yeah, that's fine, presented, yep, because you already moved it up
Way
there.
you presented
did,
it.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
Thanks. All right, since we're spending money, we'll take a roll call.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right, now, no unfinished business brings us into new business. The first item is the clerk, so Roz will let you handle that.
We still doing open?
What's that?
Do you want to double check, make sure we're still doing open?
Oh, yeah. Sue, do you want an open meeting, or do you want us to go? Okay.
Brandon Township's policy right now reads that if vacation is not used by their anniversary date, that an employee, if they don't take their or not able to take their vacation, can pretty much lose it. So I'm just we're asking for an extension of the vacation time to employee in my office to the end of the year.
I'll speak to this.
Yep.
I had a quick discussion with Jason regarding this, and I think that employees have plenty of opportunity to take their vacation during the year, but I can understand how this can happen once in a while. So I think, if we grant this, which we probably should, we should let the employee know that this is like a one-time thing and it shouldn't happen every year.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take a different tack. For my staff, there's actually 3 2-week periods where vacations are not allowed. I let them know ahead of time. It's very clear. In the clerk's office, election time, it's very clear. Just for consistency purposes, I'm going to always vote no if an employee tries to ask for extension of vacation time because of one of those 2 reasons. Now, if an employee asks for it because the manager said, hey, I really need you here this additional week for some other reason, that's a different story. But these are very clear events that are happening every year for these departments. And so I'm going to be consistent in how I vote on this.
How have we handled these in the past is the question I
I think
have.
we've always granted
Yeah,
them.
Kathy and I talked about that earlier today
We've
too,
always
and
granted
the
them.
only one she could remember was with Parks and Rec, and that was granted.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I just-
it hasn't happened since.
When-
that.
With Scott talking about consistency, I just want to make sure that
It happened in the Treasurer's Department prior to my being there as well, with another tenured, long-term employee.
Did we
It seems to be
allow it or not allow
Pardon
it?
me?
Did we allow it or not allow it?
You allowed it. yeah.
Okay.
It's really only an issue with long-term employees because they've built up so much vacation time. You know, pretty much the staff here is a much younger crew, and so there's only 1 or 2 weeks of vacation for most people anyways, so it's not as big an issue.
Not having the employee handbook handy with me here, is there any allowing of unused vacation time to be transferred over into comp time?
So you can take 40 hours and you can transfer that
next
to the
year.
next year.
Okay,
So that's what she's doing, so she doesn't have to take it all, be
right, gotcha.
late.
Yeah, I have no problem with
no,
it, because
so-
she's obviously earned the time, and if something got in the way, something you're overwork in your office, I have no problem if they earn the time.
Right. So our policy reads that per department head that you may carry over 40 hours with an okay for approval from your department head. And so,
There's 48 additional hours is what we're
correct,
talking about.
yes.
Right.
So does anybody want to make that motion, and does anybody want to add something to it about a one-time use of this?
I'll make the motion as suggested, if somebody wants to amend it.
I'll second this motion.
You want it as it is?
As it is.
Okay. So we have a motion by Bob and seconded by Steve. And because it involves paying money, we will roll call that too.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
No.
Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. All right. So that brings us into the budget amendment. That is for the renovations. We did not have enough in there to cover the final payment of the front facade project. Kathy and I talked about that too. There was, some was taken out of one line and some was taken out of the other, but there wasn't enough left in this one. So at any rate, we need to put $12,500 in there to cover that final payment and correct that cost center.
Is this because we went over, or is it just to finish
Just
paying it?
To finish the final payment.
When
From what
when
we
the
already
billing
approved.
occurred, we thought
Yeah.
the billing would occur sooner.
Yeah, we didn't get the bill till
So actually,
January
the money
instead of December.
we had budgeted, we didn't spend, and it's left over and carry forward.
Okay, I was thinking
anyways.
this was like a new payment, like
No.
from going over budget, but I'm like, we've been done with it for so long, so I was
This
trying to
was in
figure out-
January.
Okay, we're just
that the
finding
payment was
it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't that we were over.
We didn't go over there, right?
No,
Okay,
it just
good.
went to the carry forward
I got
and the final payment wasn't paid.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yep.
thank you.
So with that said, I'll make the motion as presented.
Support.
All right, and again, we're moving money, so we'll roll call that.
Broughton,
Yes.
Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Okay, and that brings us to our allocation of franchise fees. Your correct one was sitting at your table when you walked up. I had the percentages wrong, and Kathy showed me that. I thought they were set, but they're actually a percentage of the total, so I had to adjust those. So the village's portion would be $15,307.78. Township's portion is $134,182.22. Both are down slightly, but with more people going to streaming and using less cable, they're probably going to continue to decline. So I have the suggestion motion there to handle the franchise fees for 2022. Any questions on that?
Nope, I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you, Dana.
Support.
Thank you, Bob. All right, we have a motion, and can we get a roll call on that, please?
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right, and then next we have our annual right-of-way permit that MDOT sends us every year that we have to sign to be able to obtain permits for projects in the state right-of-way, and the supervisor is required to sign this. So we just got this at the beginning of September. So we need to sign this resolution. Is there questions on that?
Nope, I'll make the motion that's suggested.
Second.
Thank you, Dana and Steve. Any questions? All right. That one is not spending money, but it is a resolution, so we'll roll call it anyway.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Trumbo.
Yes. All right, that brings us to the second reading for the Consumers Energy Franchise Ordinance. We approved the first reading at the last meeting. This is coming to the board for the second reading. Are there any questions on it this time around?
Nope. I'd go ahead and make a motion to
Okay.
approve the Consumers Energy Company Gas Franchise Ordinance as presented.
I'll support.
That was in stereo.
All right.
Yeah, really.
It was.
All right, I'll go with Roz because she's in my ear first, so. All right, can we get a roll call on that as well, since it's an ordinance?
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Trumbo.
Yes. All right,
Rosalind and I were working
Motion
hard
carries.
at that.
You got to harmonize it next
Yeah.
time.
that brings us to the clerk's portion of the new business. So Shelmar Lane is first.
Okay, so on September 7th, a public hearing for Shelmar Lane Private Road Maintenance, SAD number 4, was held to hear and consider those in favor and those opposed of the cost project. Tonight's public hearing was held to hear and consider those opposed and in favor for the assessment roll. Tonight, we have a resolution confirming Shelmar Lane Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment District number 4. The cost estimate of the improvement is $40,000, $255.45. The Shelmar Lane Private Road Maintenance Special Assessment Roll, assessing in the sum of $307.71 a year for 5 years against 36 parcels in the district, which includes the admin fee of 5% in all costs and attorney fees, and further includes a credit from Special Assessment District number 3. In the surplus, the carryover is not to exceed $4,800. I did receive a phone call at 5 o'clock this evening from a resident who lived on Shelmar. They said that they could not be here tonight. They would like to, but they could not. And they just said that they wanted to voice their support in favor of the SAD. They said that the road has been well-maintained and they've done a good job.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the resolution confirming Shelmar Lane SAD number 4, special assessment roll as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Steve and Kathy. All right, because it's a resolution, we'll roll call again.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Trumbo.
Yes. All right, that brings us to the Legault Special Assessment.
Okay. So at our last board meeting, the board voted to take action and move forward with the Special Assessment District number 2 for Legault Boulevard. Within the meeting, a public hearing was held to receive public comment on the initial escrow and surplus. The resolution being passed tonight is showing the cost of $61,574.20 for 5 years. This resolution will also approve the transfer of the surplus not to exceed $21,000. The confirming of the assessment roll will take place in November. Before we make a motion on this, I do need to amend something on this resolution. So on page 2 at number 11, you'll see that it'll state that the public hearing will be held on November 11th. That should read November 8th.
November 8th.
November 8th, because we moved our board meeting to the 8th.
Okay.
my discussion is, I don't believe we can take anyone off of the special assessment. I think they all have to participate, so in Mr. Derbyshire's case, I don't think we can do this and not include him. And I also wanted to say that one of my neighbors sold their house, and they told the new people that they were allowed to hunt on my property.
Right.
So,
Can't do that. Well, and the
People
township
say
wasn't a party to that contract either.
I do think, when you have a road, let's use, Legault. So at the end of this road, you know, if you have parcels on this road, that's what you're being assessed because you own those parcels. You know, the parcels on the road.
so I could go ahead and make a motion?
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt the Legault Boulevard SAD number 2 resolution of the Township Board of the Charter Township of Brandon determining to undertake an important project and to establish and maintain a special assessment district to pay costs associated therewith, and approving the plans and estimates of costs therefore as amended.
I'll second.
Thank you, Kathy and Steve. Because it's a resolution, or does anybody else have anything? All right. Because it's a resolution, we'll roll call again, please.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Does that mean yes?
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. That brings us to the Zurita special assessment.
Want me to go ahead and make a motion?
So-
Let's see if she.
Oh, she's presenting it, I'm sorry.
So we have a Zarita resolution tonight. At our last board meeting, the resolution that was there took place of that petition. So tonight, we're now, the public hearing was for the cost and the creation of the special assessment district. For Zarita, there are 6 parcels included. The SAD is to provide operation, maintenance, and repair of the sanitary sewage disposal system. And we have the project cost in the sum of $4,000 to cover any project costs, additional expenses, and it is a 15% annual admin fee. All legal costs and attorney fees are, so any additional costs will have to go on to the homeowners. On number 11 on page 2, we're going to also have to amend that to read November 8th, because it has November 11th on it. Now this SAD, huh?
Number
Or
10
yeah,
on this one.
yes. And it has the November 11th date on it, to the 8th. So this special assessment will end on 2023. So if we want to, if you look at page 2
Yeah.
and read number 5.
I think I need to help clarify that with Zarita. We called this a new special assessment just because Stuart, our attorney, wanted us to get some new verbiage in
Language.
but really, this is an ongoing, forever, under court order. And therefore, we're not going to come back and redo this every 2 years, just like the previous SAD really hadn't been updated for over 20 years. So I just want to make sure that was clear.
Well, if you read number 5 in this resolution, it says the term of the special assessment district shall end on December 31st, 2023. So that means it will end, right?
Seems like to me.
It'll end.
Well,
Unless we want to amend that and extend that now.
So did you ever get a hold of
I
Stuart the
did,
other day?
so
Because
in
we
the-
were talking about that.
He said we could do the 5 years. It was for the cost project, so we can extend it to the 5 years. He just wanted the board to kind of make that decision.
If we extend it and the cost goes up, let's say, can that go up in the 5
see,
years, or no,
that's
the
what's
cost
odd
is
about
not?
this one, is that the cost may go up every year, and we adjust the amount that we charge the homeowners accordingly every year. So
So it
that's
doesn't
not
matter what
locked
the
in.
term
Now, we're
is.
locked in because Brian has given us a contract amount for 2 years. But
But
he
it's
could,
not even that. The count, it says he's gonna do it every 2 years. He doesn't say it's only for 2 years.
Yeah, we looked
Right.
into that.
my point is that because this is, we're calling this a special assessment, but it's different. It's really not. And so I just wanted to be clear on that, we brought this to the board again only because we were changing from Oakland County to Brian Harrison. But from what I understood from Stuart, this is ongoing, regardless of how we vote. This has to be done.
Yes, it has to be done. In the court order of the easement, there was the court order is for the easement.
So I think, so Stuart's probably saying we have to do this forever, but our special assessment can,
It's only going for 2 years
years.
based on the cost of, he was going off of this. But when me and Jason looked at this from Harrison Ho, it didn't have dates. It didn't show.
No, it just
No,
says
it
that's
just-
the
and then
cost
if you
for
look
every
at,
2 years.
if you look at number 12, though, it says that it can be, the price can change every year and be redetermined the first day of each annual anniversary of the project. So that allows it to be changed if we wanted to make it longer, so we don't have these fees to keep reassessing these homeowners.
That's the way I read it. So if we want to make it 5 years, we just change that date to 26.
Can we make it 5 years without talking, without like something with the homeowners, though? I mean, do we have to,
Well, I'm assuming they don't want to go through all this work every 2 years either.
Well, right.
well, especially because it's not really a choice, it's
Well, so wouldn't the
mandated.
cost of the project go up then too? If we're doing it for 5 years?
That's the annual.
That's the annual.
Right.
I think if we're gonna change anything, we better involve the residents.
Well, the residents don't have a choice, it's a court order, though.
Well, still, it'd be nice to let them know.
So what, again, what did the
What all we're
township
changing
attorney
is the number of
say
years,
the
which
term
is-
should be?
Yeah, I know.
Is
Well,
indefinite.
Stuart
Stuart
It
drafted
just
this.
seems like common courtesy.
Well,
with-
yes,
with
it
this
is,
date
but I'm just
on.
saying it's indefinite anyways.
Rod said, you said he told you could make it 5 years though, right?
We would have to amend it.
Which is just that paragraph, right? Just like you did down here with the date.
That's what I'm, correct. 'Cause now this will, like, after this board meeting, once this goes, it'll be mailed to the homeowners. So they haven't received this.
There's
until
also another whammy of doing this too frequently, is that we hit them up with another $1,000 legal fee
Right, that's
every
why.
time. And
I'd rather go,
not do that.
I'd rather go 5 years, there's no reason, there's nothing that's gonna change. This is court ordered unless you think the court's gonna stop it at some point.
Not unless,
Hasn't since
I don't think they
72.
will.
yeah, it's been going on since 1972.
Yeah, so, it's not stopping. I'd rather make it longer. I don't need to charge, because you think about it, you're charging them then after 10 years, that's $5,000 instead of $2,000.
Yep.
It looks like the majority of us want to amend this
So
for number
for 5
5 to
years, yep.
2026.
So I would say whatever we need to do to let the homeowners know, if we can do this and then let them know, or do we have to have another?
Well, according to the
Special
township
meeting for them.
attorney, he said we could go ahead and.
Stuart told you we could change it, correct? We just amend this?
Yeah, he said you just have to amend it.
I'll go ahead and make a motion
Okay.
to adopt the resolution of the Township Board of the Charter Township of Brandon to establish and maintain a special assessment district to be known as Zurita SAD Number 2, to pay costs associated therewith, and approve the plans and cost estimates therefore as amended. And that's 2 amendments that we made.
Yep.
Could you state what those amendments are?
So.
Yeah, please.
The
Okay,
amendments to
for-
this resolution is under, on page 2, number
Paragraph
5.
Number 5.
It'll be 2026 instead of 2023.
Wait.
Right here. So that'll read 2026 instead of 2023.
And then on
And
number
then
10.
on number 10, right here, but it'll say November, oh, no, that'll be the 8th.
Instead of
November
11.
8th.
Oh, well, see, we're still doing a special assessment roll on the 8th, so they
Correct.
still have a chance to come and see that it's 5 years if they want to.
And at any time within the
don't see
month,
that
they have,
happening.
residents can reach out, they can call the office, they can come in, or they can email.
So we have an opportunity then to have input from the residents on November 8th, and they can say yay or nay to the 2026
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, they
all right,
could,
all right.
someone say, we want it every 2 years and pay more money, but I don't.
Board should
think
also
that's
know that on
happening.
this particular, I hate to refer to it as a special assessment district, it's this, but they should know that the homeowners are gonna save significantly compared to prior years.
What they've been paying.
I don't have the savings, so I don't wanna say it on camera.
I think
If you
it's,
call me tomorrow, I can give that to you.
it's set up as a special assessment district just for the way that we.
Loosely
have to,
worded
Yes,
special assessment.
Yeah, that we administer
It's
it.
the only way that we can collect those monies.
Right.
Did anybody second?
Did anybody second? No, I don't know. I don't have a second. I will.
Not yet.
I'll do it.
Take a chance.
All right. Any other questions? All right, can we get a roll call, Lisa?
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right, motion carries. That brings us to the item that Kathy moved down. So Kathy?
Sure. When I was looking through my packet, I noticed that trustee Marshall is putting in to get paid on 9/15 for the police budget, and when we went over our police budget, that was part of our 9/20 meeting. So I sent him a text and he didn't answer me, so that's why I brought it up, because I would like
Well,
to
and
get some
He came in and
discussion.
talked to me that day because I asked him to.
Yeah,
But I will say traditionally, on those types of meetings, we haven't paid for that.
correct.
I did get paid one time for something, but it wasn't for that. I had a meeting at the park with somebody by myself, and it was paid. But
You know, if you asked him to come in, that's different than him coming in,
ask him to
you
come
know.
And,
I think you should get paid.
traditionally, go ahead, Bob.
And just let me be clear, I did receive your text message, and I did not answer it intentionally, because I do not answer to you for my timesheet, I answer to the supervisor, so I figured I thought it was inappropriate to have you questioning my timesheet.
Well, actually, you answer to the board,
Yeah.
which we're all part of. And we're supposed to get things clarified. I would really like to get the township attorney's input on this, because I don't know if it
I'm not
was.
wasting that money. We've done that in the past.
Spent $250 to save 106.
Save 106, yeah.
And
not
how
gonna do
long
that.
did that meeting last? And,
Does it really matter how
Doesn't
long the
matter if
meeting
meeting's
lasted?
1 minute or 4 hours, it's the same rate, but
well, yeah, but usually we have.
I will say,
And was it a posted meeting?
no, it wasn't. I asked him to come in, so why would I post that?
Well, yeah, but you ask people to come in for
What-
meetings,
I know, I
other
asked you to come in
meetings.
today. I didn't post that either, so why would you ask me if I posted it?
What is our
But
manual?
it's not,
Okay.
it's not a,
It's not something that needs to be posted.
Here's
well,
my,
it's not a meeting that we get paid for either.
here's my question, what does the manual say we get paid for? Because you asked me to come in too, and I didn't put
Yeah.
it down, so I'm just.
Traditionally,
Does the manual say that
traditionally,
we
we've
get
only
paid?
paid for meetings where it's an actual posted meeting, is the way we've traditionally paid.
What does the
Right.
manual
But I
say?
have one time in the past. I don't know, because I didn't look it up, because I didn't know about this till right before the meeting, because
Okay.
nobody said anything to me.
I'm just curious what the manual says, because I know when I get called to, I don't put those on my times
Right.
sheet,
Well, it
because
seems
I've
to-
come in many times.
It
that
seems
I've
to me
been
if
asked to
you're,
come
if
in.
you're being called to come in to have an exchange or exchange of ideas with the supervisor, it should be subject to pay.
Okay. Well, I haven't asked for those, that's why I'm trying to get clarity,
Yeah, I
because I haven't
understand.
put those on before, and I know I've come in a couple times to meet.
The only meeting where we normally have that situation is with the auditor, where you're
Yes.
asked to come in. So they
Right.
are paid for that. So I guess there
Yes.
is kind of a precedent for it, but
The other thing too
I
is.
really don't wanna
we-
pay the attorney
we-
to
We
decide that,
did,
though.
we did bring this up at a previous meeting
We did years
with
ago.
language that would allow for the supervisor to determine paid meetings, but it was voted down.
yeah, because there was other stuff on that, but it wasn't
Yeah.
just that.
So,
I just want to make sure what we're doing is fair across the board, so if one
Right.
person's getting paid for it, the other
No,
people
No, I
kind
agree.
of
If
some
we're,
is
if we're
not.
gonna
That's
pay
the only
Bob,
reason why
then
I'm
everybody that
questioning
came
it.
in should be paid for it.
Right, that's the only, otherwise I'm not questioning it,
and I don't think we need to pay each trustee if they come in and talk to a official that's here. I mean, I mean, what if somebody comes in and talks to Rosalind? Is that a paid meeting?
Y'all pay me to be here.
Well, not for you. I mean, for the
Definitely.
people
We're already
coming.
paid here.
You're already paid, yes.
I look at it this way, my time is worth money. I could just as well be making money elsewhere. If I am requested to come in for a meeting, then I should get paid for that time that I'm spending while I'm here and not someplace else.
Well, and that's true for all of us, but we had this conversation before, and another thing is too, some of us have been doing the virtual meetings, and we're not getting paid for that. And our
We-
time is money as well.
But you're not
Discussed-
coming in here and
And
you're
we
doing that 'cause
discussed
you
that
want to.
also.
Not
Do you
because
be-
somebody asked you to.
Well, if someone's asking me, I'm gonna wanna participate because we wanna better the township.
And that wasn't the supervisor asking you to do that. That was you wanting to do that. I mean, if you want me to ask the attorney in an email, I will, but
I
it
do
seems
not
like a
want
waste
you
of
to
money for
spend
me to
money
do
on
that.
I don't want you spending money on that either, to find out.
You know,
Well, you can ask MTA for free.
I don't want you wasting your time on it either.
Yeah, I hate going outside to some outside organization to make decisions for us on whether somebody should be paid or not for their time.
I would like to defer to the supervisor on
Well,
whether
why
or not
don't
he
we-
wants
Yeah.
to, but
Then
there's
we can
also a
just table it
question.
and we'll bring it back to the
Because
next
there's
meeting,
also a
and I'll
question,
look at
if
the
if you ask people to come in here, I think there's a certain amount of, well, this, service to the community kind of thing, but it costs gas to drive in here as well. And if you're asking somebody to come in, I think that should be part of the deciding factor of whether or not you're gonna approve that. Because gas isn't free.
We'll table it and we can look at what the thing says and I'll ask MTA what they think.
Yeah.
Can we have a, oh, that's just a, is that just
Caught
a
up in the
workshop next
silliest
week,
things.
right? So we can't do it, we could discuss it at our workshop next week.
I can't wait.
Well, we
I
could,
mean-
If we want to discuss, if he wants to look it up and have us discuss it.
We got enough
I just
stuff in the
want
workshop
I just want an answer so I know for future. I don't care. It doesn't
I
matter
will tell you
to
in
me
the
either
past,
way.
I
just
did
want
have a
it to
meeting
be-
like this where I went to the Township Park for something with Fred and I was paid for it.
I can't recall all of them.
But it was 7 years ago.
Well,
It was,
that's,
it was
I'm
something
trying to,
about, we were talking about the frisbee golf or something, and Fred asked me to come out there, and I put it on my timesheet. You told me not to, and it came to the board, and the board paid me.
I don't recall, Scott, did we get paid when we went to Lansing?
No, that was
Yeah.
per Kathy. No, you cannot be paid
I went
for that.
I went to Lansing once, and then I went to the
That- which was
meet
6
with the
hours.
attorney. Yeah, for a whole day with the attorneys fighting Sleepy Howell, and I mean, I was okay. I was like, it's part of my, it's part of those times the meetings are a half hour and you get paid, or per meeting, and then that. So it is what it is. I just want it fair across the board, so some people aren't getting paid for it and some people are. So I don't.
correct.
That's
Are
why
we
I thought-
tabling this, or are we,
I would table it.
and then we can come up with a policy later? per
Well, I can look
supervisor
at the
or whatever?
policy and talk to MTA.
Okay,
I wasn't aware that this was an issue. I just found out about it.
okay.
So are we going to table it to bring it back for November 8th,
Postpone.
2021?
Postpone.
Or, I meant, yes, postpone, not
I always say
tabling it.
table, but it's postponed.
November 8th. or there's the-
All right, I'll make the motion to postpone it.
I'll second it.
All right. Because it involves potentially spending money, I'll go ahead and roll call it.
When are we postponing this to?
November 8th?
November 8th, okay.
Yes.
Yes, next meeting.
Yes.
Marshall,
No.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. All right. That item is postponed. All right, that is it for new business. That brings us to citizens' comments on anything. So you have 3 minutes to discuss anything.
I'm up here for my Legault Road again in Special Assessment Districts in Brandon Township. This is crazy. In order for me to extend Legault Road, quarter mile, and put in 8 more homes, you guys are gonna require me to put in a 30-something thousand gallon underground hydrant for the fire department before I can even do that. I'm not allowed to make anyone else on Legault Road pay for it. You know, you guys, when you have a subdivision go into an 80-acre farm and you don't have a road maintenance agreement up front for the purchasers, it's wrong. I don't care what anyone says. And Kathy, I don't know where you found out that you can't exempt some people from a special assessment district and put others on it, because there's clearly, from the handout that just came out, 2 lots that aren't even marked as paying the special assessment. So maybe it's wrong, but this is the stuff that was mailed to me. I've never been invited to a meeting on Legault Road, because I don't live on Legault Road, and neither have any of my fellow landowners that don't live on Legault Road. They don't invite us there, they don't ask us for a comment, we don't get to bid on any of this road maintenance, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Special assessments are good, but only when everybody agrees up front. To have 50% of the people rule on it and say, oh, we all voted for it, but Mr. Derbyshire here has to pay, and who's to say, what if I have to pay $10,000 or $30,000 for this hydrant? I don't get to split that cost. How do I get my name removed off of special assessment? It's wrong. You guys have mishandled this for 30 years. I've lived in this township for 30 years. I'm an engineer. I've owned real estate ever since I was out of college. My brother owns a vacant lot on Tucker Farms, 2 of them that we got for back taxes, and it's just ridiculous. You guys are a joke.
I've been through a lot when it comes to the township. I just would really want the township to treat me and my family fairly and stop building homes on a junkyard that the township mandated in January the 11th, 1954. I got pollution coming up with my well water. You built the house on an Oakland County drain to a wetland, and it flooded there, and the house is built with inferior products. It's on township property. It's personal property. I have 2 active zip codes. That's not fair. What's going on with my voting rights? What's going on with anything? It's like nobody cares anymore. You don't care about my family. I have been threatened. I have been threatened by the police. I have been ran off the road. I've had liquor bottles, and I've had gunfire. And I'm not putting up with it anymore. So if you're not going to help me or contact me the next 24 hours, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward with my plan. You're not going to like it because your paperwork tells the truth. It took me a long time to find all the paperwork to that property. Well, I got it. And I'm not just 6 acres. I'm a part of the whole section of 36 that says it's personal property with my address on it. And building homes, I have to warn the people that are not paying taxes, that are part of the scam, to be careful about the well water, that it's dangerous. I'm tired of breaking out. I'm tired of having cancer scares. Vinyl chloride plume, they couldn't find it. Nobody came and tested my well water from the health department or from the township. So I'm just saying, whatever happens, it's going to be on your conscience, because I'm not going to give up until you guys settle with me. You do the right thing.
Supervisor Rumble, did we ask this resident her name to?
I know.
But like I say, the property's not residential. It's township property. Township only. And it's vacant land.
To my knowledge, the township doesn't own any property on Dartmouth
Yes, you
Road,
do.
so-
I got the proof. It's in the taxes. It's zone township property
And no
only.
real property can be personal
Well,
property
you know what?
either.
You can lie all you want. But that's, you do own property.
your time is
You
up,
own
ma'am.
that junkyard that you built my house on.
I didn't build your house, but.
Well, you know that
your
you're
3 minutes are up,
responsible for
ma'am.
this township.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Well, you're responsible for this township. I'm just gonna write my phone number on this.
Your 3 minutes are, does anybody else have anything?
Can I ask a question? Or no, I can't ask questions.
I would
Nope,
not
nope.
ask a question currently.
Nope, we're good.
I'd make a motion to adjourn. unless
Well,
there's
I
other-
think
Wait,
someone
we
else
gotta
wanted
do-
to speak. Someone else
Hold on.
wanted to speak.
Did you have something to say earlier? Oh, Ken?
I just wanted to comment on the no-has. I get one letter a year. That's all I know about. I mean, I realize you said it was on the website and stuff, but
And it's in the
it's a
paper,
very
too.
possible that, we don't know about it. And it
That's what I-
happens on Fridays and Saturdays when some of us work and stuff, so that's some of it. But I personally, I only remember the letter and the assessment. I don't remember anything else during the year. So, maybe we
I
need
know
to
it's
get
been
it
in
out
the
a little
paper
bit
when
more.
we did it too a couple times, but
And for the cameras, I would suggest that everybody pay attention to that assessment notice, because you want to be checking your assessment to make sure that
Right.
it's correct. And along with that, read the letter that has the dates, it has dog tag due dates and dog tag fees, and it's worth reading that letter.
I'd like to make a statement on this as well, and I've lived in this township for over 10 years, and I have never even heard of this no-has thing before, to be completely honest. Now, some of that obviously probably falls on me for not reading my assessment correctly or properly or thoroughly, but for you to say that everybody knows it or that it's put out there very, that you guys do a very good job of notifying people, I would say that might be up for question a little bit. The other thing I would say to what Mrs. De Palma said is, if you put this in a city where, and it's only one day, you guys are only doing it every 3 years, maybe you guys could look at doing it every other year or every third year or every fourth year where it's within our township. For us to drive into even Oxford, like she had said, if you live on the west side of, Ortonville, and it's a specific day, you don't have the free time to go, it doesn't benefit more than half of our population. Is that correct?
not even close to that. It's 3% has
So-
used it.
Yeah, so my question would be that maybe you guys do a little research, or my statement would be, maybe you guys do a little research as to why people aren't using it more before we go ahead and do it again, or, figure out why people aren't using it and make the changes so that we would use it. I don't know. That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say thank you for your time. I want to end it on a good note. If everybody comes here with a complaint, I honestly appreciate everything that all you guys are doing. And
Thank you.
I just want
Thank you.
Thank you and happy Halloween.
Thanks.
I'll
Our-
second that motion.
Thank you, Brian. That brings us to board comments. Kathy, do you got anything else?
I just wanted to state, the No-Haz program is a county-run program, so it's not a township program.
Right.
And they determine
The
the
locations.
collection sites, and each time they run the program, there's, 6 or 7
I think there was 6
drop-
dates and locations.
drop dates that the residents have an opportunity to go to. And they rotate the location.
Looks
But-
like they only did 4 in 2021.
That was because of
Probably
COVID.
because of COVID.
Yeah, that's because of COVID.
So, yeah, we just need to do a better job getting the word out to the residents, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I will put my hands up and say that
Okay. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Steve?
Thanks for the good comment. I like hearing all the comments, whether they're critical, good, or whatever, so I'm glad everybody showed up tonight. It's what I got elected for. So, thank you.
Scott?
Yeah, I'll give a plug for Shelby's paper. Read your paper. Yeah, usually the dates for these things are in there. There's only so many times that the township can send out a letter to 6,000 properties. So we rely on our website. We rely on that one letter a year newsletter that we send out a year, along with the assessment notice and ads in the newspaper.
And the website.
Yeah,
And
I thought I said
flyers.
that, yeah.
We all usually have a flyer too in the township, flyers over there by the supervisor's office as well. But we will try to find another avenue to get more information out there. Rosalind?
Just thank you, everyone who attended. I thank you all for sharing and, spending the time with the board and letting us know your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank me?
No, you're next. I'm looking at you because you're next.
Thank you. What did I do?
Got anything else, Bob?
The only thing I want to say is, anybody that hasn't been on the back roads lately, the back roads are horrible. So I know the state has set a speed limit that's probably too fast already for dirt roads. Slow down, save your car. And as a former accident reconstructionist, I can tell you if you go too fast on washboard roads, you're gonna lose control of your car. So just slow down until the county takes care of the roads.
Nina?
Yeah, I was going to say, be patient with the county doing it. We've had some really bad rain and really bad storms lately. But on that, I mean, one suggestion for the no-has would be the Facebook. I really think we need to get more with social media and stuff, and we've talked about that. I know Parks and Recs does a really good job. Maybe we can ask Fred to even put the no-has out there. But I don't think we've advertised it enough. I know I always look at when we do it at my calendar and try to figure out if I can make it and where it is and stuff, but I'm busy with kids and stuff, so it is harder for me too with a lot of different people. But again, thank you for everybody who's put on the events here in September, and looking forward to Halloween.
I don't have anything else for tonight, so looking for a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. You're